Well, welcome back, people. As you can see, we are back in Space Engineers. Now, this is actually the second time I've tried to do this. I had decided that because I was such a noob, that this I would make a final episode. Just to sort of run through a few things and have a final look at what I've accomplished as a beginner with almost zero understanding of what the hell I'm doing, and to see how far we got. And of course, even though I've been shown how to bring daylight up, I've forgotten how to do it already. Now, added to that, yes, well, I actually made the last episode. That went for about an hour and a half. But somehow the goldfish arrived and started swimming between my ears. And idiot forgot to push the record button. So I'm sorry you didn't get to see me run my rover into a gully and have to do the shimmy shimmy shake to get it out again. You unfortunately did not get to see where I nosedived into a hole and smashed all my spotlights and then had to shimmy shimmy out of it again. And you did not manage to see me almost fall off the top of a set of mountains. Remember, I was driving the rover. And anybody will tell you my reputation with rovers is about 10% ability and 90% bad luck. So here we are. This is just a short synopsis on what I feel I actually accomplished in my first solo journey trying to be an engineer. Now, prior to this, I had no solo experience, as I did mention earlier. Most of it I've had to pick up along the way, but as stated previously, I have been playing a couple of games with my friendly senior supervisor, and watched a few videos and things like that, and tried to put it together from there with a lot of help from the senior supervisor. So first off, yes, I'm quite proud of this little building. To the experts, it's probably not a lot or that startling, but for a total noob like me, this, in my estimation, was something of an achievement. If you remember, it took me about 2 hours just to work out how to make and place the glass. It took me another hour just to work out how to place and make the beams and all the other bits and pieces. Then the fitting out of the inside and all that sort of thing. So, yeah, I think for a total idiot, not a bad first effort. The flyer, yeah, I'm quite proud of that. It's a nice piece of machinery. And it's a beautiful blue. What more could you ask for? A little bit of tinkering around on trying to work out how many thrusters I needed and where they should be, all that sort of thing. But we got there in the end. Next, of course, was the first major project, which was making my industrial base. And this is what I'm actually quite happy about. It's not purely how I envisaged it would be, but it did do what I set it out to be. And that was an emergency place, big storage, all the equipment that was necessary for construction and for health and all maintenance, all that sort of thing. And of course my expanded garden and all that entailed. And remember, I've never done any of this before. So once again, I'm perhaps a little bit proud of the achievement. It might not be perfect to what others would have, but it's a first effort. And it supplies all the food I need, all the power setup, all that sort of thing. It's more or less did what I needed. And gave me a start in a game I barely understand. Then after that, of course, was our industrial mining district. Now this was only possible because out of sheer luck and zero talent, I managed to have all the metals I needed virtually pretty much in one little spot. So it gave me all the practice I needed for learning how to make conveyor units and drills, what settings should be, how to use the paintbrush, all this sort of thing. Little shortcuts where it was suggested instead of running back and forwards, I should have a refinery and assembler and everything here just ready, which made things a lot easier. Again, well overpowered, more power than I need, but hey, having too much is better than having too little. So yeah, overall, rather happy with it. I know there is 1,000 times more things to play in this game, but I haven't even scratched yet. So there's my cobalt, a separate one. Again, having to learn how to make this sorter and what that did and how it did it was an interesting exercise. So all of this was actually a lot of fun. Taught me a lot. I know it's still not a fraction of what can be done. Would I return to Space Engineers to play again? Yes, I would. It's pushing my understanding and abilities a little bit, which I suppose is not a bad thing. But it's also overtaxed me a little bit because I'm not a spring chicken anymore. So I need a little bit of a breakaway, and I'm going off to do a couple of other things in the meantime. But once I've sort of reconciled it all and relaxed a bit, I more than likely will return. There are a few things yet I would still like to try. One of them being a mobile mining unit, which I think would be fun. But as yet, I haven't worked out how to build it and what I need and all this sort of stuff, and that could take a while. So yeah, there is that part that could be done. And I think this as a total base unit will be worth coming back to. So it would be a continuation of this game. At this stage, I could see no value in starting from scratch again. I don't think I have that much longer on this earth that I would be able to totally rebuild everything from scratch and go through all the murder and the mayhem again. Mainly because, well, goldfish. I don't remember things very well like I used to, and consequently, by the time I return, I've probably forgotten 9/10 of what I've just learnt from here. So, being the fact that I totally screwed up the episode that was meant to replace this one, I'm hoping this little short synopsis and ending will give you an idea of how it was for me. As a new player with almost no understanding of the workings of the game and what's possible and what's not possible, and working out how to access things, how to make things. Yeah, I'm rather happy. I know there is still a lot I could do in here as far as the industrial side of it and all that sort of thing. But we shall leave it and perhaps give it pause, and hopefully I will have enough rest by adventuring away in one of my other games to relax enough to be able to start thinking positively again on how to do things and to see the future challenges. As I said, I was thinking of the mining machine. That would be quite a challenge. But also the other thing of actually going into space and what it would entail to build a ship that I can get out of orbit, and what I would have to do about actually building a ship in space. A big bugger. But at the moment I need a little break from it, because still trying to run through everything I learnt in this set of episodes will take a little bit of time to reconcile within my own mind. And hopefully I won't forget everything I've learnt through all the assistance by everybody, and by playing the game itself. So thank you very much for joining me here in my strange and wonderful world. And hopefully we will get to see you again when I'm brave enough to return and try and sort it all out once again. Thank you, Senior Supervisor, for all your assistance. You've always been good to get me on the right track again. And thank you to all the viewers that have patiently and painfully followed along. I do hope that you will one day return when I can build up the energy to come back again. So on that note, thank you again, and let's see what happens in the future.